All right, welcome back to Market Day Report. It's Friday. I feel it. I hope you do too. I'm Scott Shellady, otherwise known as the Cow Guy. And thanks for tuning in if you're just tuning in. And if you've been with us all day, it's my job to make you stay. Hopefully I can do that. And I think these prices are going to help me finally. This week's been a rough one, right? It's the bearer of bad news, it seems like, more often than not. Let's get right to it then. Let's see what's happening in that corn table here going home for the long weekend. There we go. Isn't that nice? July is up 11 3/4 cents to 7.76 3/4. And that's about 3 cents off the highs. That's nice to get started like that. How about new crop? New crop D's up at 7.30, trying to make its way to 7.50. It was up to 7.32 3/4. So we're 2 3/4 cents off the highs there, and that's up 11 1/4 in that new crop D. So, all right, let's take that as a win. Moving over to the soybeans in Chicago, what's happening in that market? Not quite as good as corn, but we'll take it. This one had a big day yesterday, right? You have to remind yourselves. July is up another double digits, 11.5 cents to 17.38 3/4. That's 6 cents off the highs. We've got no new crop. That's up 3 cents to 15.47 3/4. It was over 15.50 at one point today. The high 15.51 3/4. Moving over to the Chicago wheat. What's happening here? Look at this, folks. 3 for 3. July's up 22 cents, 11.65 1/4. Everybody wants to be in a good mood going home, don't they? We're about 5 cents off the highs in that July wheat. And we've got, let's go out to say March of 2023, 20.5 cents higher there, 11.82 1/4. Not too bad for a Friday before a 3-day weekend. Hard red wheat in Kansas City. This is also higher, not quite as much though. 16 1/4 cents higher in that front month. That's July. 12.44 3/4 is last. 7 cents off the highs, but we've got 12.12 as the low, and that's well in the rearview mirror today. Okay, taking a look at spring wheat in Minneapolis. 26 cents higher there in that July. 13.18 1/4 is last. 2 cents off the highs. And look at March of 2023, up 27 3/4 cents to 13.13 3/4. That is a new high. Finally, let's take a look at cotton, then we'll bring our next guest analyst in. Cotton not doing much today, kind of laying there, off 11 points in that July contract, the 140.50. Let's bring in Joe Lardy with CHS. Joe, that was a pretty good rundown there. I guess it was a lot easier for me to do that than a few days this week. What are your thoughts here on going home to these nice green upside moves?
Well, like you said, it's nice to see this action today, but these markets, like you've mentioned, have been really choppy. I mean, we're seeing some pretty big trading ranges. I mean, the July corn this week has had a 20-cent trading range pretty much every day, and again, that's continuing here today. And to me, the price action as we kind of get into the close today is going to be pretty important. July corn has come off 50 cents in just over a week. And it'll be interesting to see how this market has reacted. The overnight trade was pretty tame, and now we've been on a pretty good run. Is this market going to finish strong, or are we going to kind of settle back into that week that the corn market's been seeing? So I think we're going to get a good indication of prices next week, depending on what happens today. And as always before a long 3-day holiday weekend, things do tend to get a little bit squirrely, and pretty much every market that you can look at across the board is seeing some pretty decent moves.
Generally speaking, going away for the weekend, you see folks kind of cover positions. It looks as though, and then also I think that this week's market action would back me up on this. It looks as though that there was some shorts being covered today, and there's not a lot of volume. Would you go along with that?
Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like to me. So I think this close is going to be pretty indicative of what the market wants to do.
Because had you been short this week, it's depending on what you're in, but generally speaking, it wouldn't have been a bad trade. Even though we did get some bullish news that kind of squeaked out every now and again, but it just wasn't enough to get folks to buy the market. But maybe a 3-day weekend when anything can happen is enough for you to cover your shorts. What do you think?
Yeah, that's exactly right. There's a lot of uncertainty, and we're certainly seeing quite a bit of headlines that are definitely moving headlines. And going into another planning progress report on Monday, I think people want to probably take a little bit of risk off and keep things closer to the vest.
Yeah, speaking of those trading ranges, I can remember my father telling me in the pits in Chicago that these types of moves can drive a wooden man nuts, right? So we got to be careful. All right, appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Joe Lardy, he's with CHS. We're going to go away. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to come back and talk livestock after this.